Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Intuitive Marriage Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Pott. I'm an intuitive guide and certified marriage mentor, and I'm here to guide you on a journey of self-love and awareness. Together, we'll explore how tuning into your intuition can create a deeper, more meaningful connection with yourself and your husband. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy you found me, and I'm very happy to have you here. Guys, it was a week. I'm sorry this is coming to you a day late. I am trying to get these episodes out Sunday evening, and life is just busy. I thought as an empty nester, life would slow down a little bit, but that does not appear to be the case, and that's okay. I'm also working until the end of this year with my girlfriend, Julie, at her new location of her store, Daring Diva Purses. And that is located at the Steinbach Mall. And I'm working a few days or a couple of days a week anyways there. So it's been a lot of fun. I haven't done retail for a while. And man, I didn't realize how tough it was to be on my feet again all day. Anyways, so it was a week. So I do apologize, but I'm here now. So in this episode, you may have seen the title. We're in episode 24, and it's Manifesting a Deeper Love and my journey with the book, The Secret and Law of Attraction. And yes, we're actually going to go there today. So today I'm going to take you through my personal experience of how I manifested my husband over a decade ago by applying the principles of the book, The Secret and the Law of Attraction. Now, you're going to learn how these powerful techniques work on deepening love within your marriage and how you can start manifesting the love that you want today. With over 20 years of practice, I'll break down how to get clear on your desires, align your thoughts, and to take action to attract the deeper connection you long for in your marriage. Okay, so let's just start at the beginning, shall we? The very start of my manifestation journey. About 20 years ago, I was introduced to The Secret, a book that became a worldwide phenomenon for teaching the principles of the law of attraction. It's written by Rhonda, Byrne, and explores the idea that our thoughts and feelings can shape our reality. Now, I'll never forget the day I received that book. I was in my early 30s. I was in a new relationship, and it was my first experience of being part of a blended family. And The Secret opened my eyes to a new way of looking at life. And it showed me how much power that I actually had to create my own reality in a way that I was ignorant. I was just ignorant to it before. Especially just, I always understood that, it's kind of like if you get up on the wrong side of the bed, you're going to have a shit day, right? It's just, I didn't really connect those ideas to what it was, the law of attraction, all that. I've heard that throughout, my young adult life, but really didn't understand it. And this book just opened my eyes and to understanding that I actually did have the power to create, the life that I desired. And I was quite ignorant to that fact before reading this book. And this book planted a seed in my mind, and it made it my mission to have a more positive outlook in my everyday life. I learned that if I wanted to create a life that I desire, I had to first believe that I deserved it, first of all. And I needed to focus on love and abundance and not a lack of it, as opposed to, I don't have this, I don't have this, I wish I had this. You just change that narrative to believing that you have already acquired it. It's already yours. You're already on the path to accomplish it or achieve it. In the book, The Secret, if you haven't read it, please it really changed my life and my way of looking at life. It teaches us that we are like magnets. And whatever we focus on, whether it's positive or negative, that's what we're going to attract into our lives. Now, this meant that I needed to shift my thought process from worrying, stressing about life, and always waiting for something bad to happen. I was a worrier, always, oh no, like what's going to happen next, and I just started to, instead of that, which, I mean, you've got to tell me you've had these experiences where you get up and you're just not in the mood. Everything happens. Maybe you spill your coffee and then life, you hit every red light. It just snowballs because you're just stuck in that negative energy, that negative vibration. And that's what you're attracting to yourself. And so I started to visualize the type of life that I really wanted in a positive way. It's about how I wanted to feel in my life. What's that feeling, that emotion? You attach that to your desire. And how did I want my everyday life to feel when I woke up? And from that moment, I lived my life very, very differently. I parented differently. I expressed gratitude a lot more in my life. And it wasn't perfect. It's an ongoing process. It's a journey. I'm still learning. I still have shit days. I still have low energy days. Even though I have a positive outlook in life, it's a practice. It's an ongoing thing. And my life did change for the positive. I learned more about my intuition. I listened to it more. I understood it more. I also realized that, when I looked back on my life, I have been manifesting everything in my life for years without really knowing that that's what I was doing. You have a goal, you have a vision, you have a desire of something you'd like to do or be, how you'd like your life to feel. And you just take aligned action in that direction, which we're going to go over. But okay, so let's fast forward a few years, and I'd like to, let's go right into the fun stuff. How did I manifest my husband? I'm convinced, absolutely know that I manifested my husband. So we're going to fast forward now to the winter of 2013. I mean, I guess back when I received the book, I didn't really state it, but it was over 20 years ago. So, well, almost 20 years ago. I think it was like 2003, something like that when I received the book. So, fast forward now to the winter of 2013. I was going through some changes in my life, and I had moved out to the country to be closer to my family. Um, I ended up moving in with my dad and my two sons. My daughter had moved out already, and we were looking at possibly purchasing his house. Actually, he was looking at transitioning, and let's face it, he was helping me out. I was helping him out. I think the reality was he was helping me out more. But I like to feel like I was actually helping him out too, but probably just driving him crazy. But it just ended up the relationship I was in, I had already known from my gut feelings and my listening to my intuition that it wasn't going to work out. And that was kind of earlier on in that year, in that fall. So we moved out into the country where I absolutely love. I've been in the city for so many years, most of my life. But as a little girl, I lived out in the country and I just loved it. So I began implementing the secret's teachings to manifest me, my knight in shining armor. It was time. And the first step was to get really clear on what I wanted in a partner. And I already knew that, I think, but as you learn and as you grow and you have experiences in life, those do change. I know I needed to be really clear on what I wanted. So I created a list of qualities. Don't judge me. I think this is really important. But yes, I had my list of qualities that mattered to me in a partner, kindness, humor, emotional intelligence, someone who valued communication and partnership. I wanted a man that had children and he needed to be a big part of their lives. Either I wanted someone who had full custody of his children or joint custody. I wanted a blue collar man. That's what I've grown up with. Most of my family's all in trades. Either he's in a trade or self employed, preferably lives on a farm or has an acreage. I know, hey, like I said, don't judge me. These are the things that I desired. And I wanted him to, live in a certain vicinity of where my life was now moving forward to. Um, Purchasing my dad's house was just not on the table anymore. It just wouldn't work out for myself. And so I moved to a small town, a few minutes away from where my dad lived out in the country. And I wanted a man who was within that vicinity, either in the town. I actually had sort of chosen two small towns and would have loved for him to have lived kind of in between there somewhere. And, I the list goes on. Okay, the list goes on. He wanted someone who liked to hunt, to be adventurous, not a big drinker. I had had issues in my past with a couple of relationships where, there was a lot of alcohol, and that just wasn't in my future. I did not want that anymore. He must be a foodie because this girl likes her food. The important shit, like the really important shit, right? I preferred facial hair. I went down to all the details, a taller man, a bigger stature man. Oh, and he must have teeth. Anyways, if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. But he needed to have teeth. And I didn't just write these things down. I spent each day visualizing, how it would feel to be with this person. What type of a relationship were we going to have? I could envision us laughing together, enjoying deep conversations, and supporting each other in every way. It wasn't just about having someone to love. I mean, of course, that's obviously the ultimate goal. But, and if you've listened to some of my other podcasts, then my other episodes, then you would know that I've just believed it to my core that a fairy tale relationship was possible for me. I just have always believed that. I saw my parents growing up and having the most incredible, amazing love until my mom passed away. They were together, they were married like 62 years, plus being together for, many years on top of that. So it was just about manifesting a relationship full of connection and joy. I knew what I wanted my relationship, my next relationship to feel like. So here is where the law of attraction comes into play. I didn't focus on when or how this person would come into my life, although I was on POF, which any of you know, it's plenty of fish. I know it was a dating stream way back then. I don't even know if it's still around. But anyways, if you know, right? And so, obviously, I was putting my line out into the pond there and seeing what kind of a fish I could catch. But I was very focused on the details and knew what I really wanted. So I trusted the process. I, had feelings of gratitude as if it had already happened. This is key. Make room in your life for the person to come into it as well. Letting go of doubt and fear. You have to truly, truly believe that it's possible, even when there's no immediate evidence. You kind of have to, and they sort of allude to this in the book, and some people don't necessarily agree with it. And hey, I get that. But you almost have to, when you place an order on Amazon, you don't really question that it's not going to come in. You just kind of place the order and you forget about it. It's sort of that same thing. You're just you putting it out there, placing your order with the universe, and then it's done. It's just let the universe do its thing. So, let me go into the story of manifesting my husband. So, we were both on this dating site called Plenty of Fish. And I had been speaking to someone and I kind of had a date planned already. And I wasn't really into chatting with a whole bunch of different men, prospects, potentials. Um, and so he reached out. I really did like his profile, but it also said Winnipeg on there. So I'm in Manitoba, Canada, and I live outside the town, just about half an hour east of the city. And his profile said Winnipeg, and I was like, oh, I don't want to have to travel to date. I wanted someone within a certain vicinity. So I did really like his profile, but I had a date planned, so I did ignore it. 3 or 4 days later, he messaged me again. I think it was like the day of the date I had planned or the day before, something like that. And we chit chatted, and his first thing he said was, "Hey, we're neighbors." And I was like, "What? But your profile says Winnipeg." And he's like, "Yes, I had it on default because the women that were reaching out to him didn't want to date a man outside of the city. So he just put Winnipeg just so he could at least have some conversations." So we kind of had a little, oh, that's really cool. And, he explained where he lived, and it was basically right within the vicinity of where I'm manifesting a man from. He lived right between the two towns, just outside of the towns, like in between, right where I was hoping to find somebody. So that checked the first box. But I still had this date planned. And that's what I said. I said, hey, let me go on this date. Let's see how it goes. And he, of course, really hoped that it didn't work out, and it didn't. And so we continued our journey of conversation. Oh, as the conversation moved forward, sorry, we discovered very quickly that our children actually attended the same high school, and two of our kids were actually in the same class. So they knew each other before we did. I had just recently moved and had put my two boys into a new school during the Christmas break. And so, two new boys coming in, everybody knew who they were. And so, it didn't take long for us to realize that, our kids knew each other. I don't even know if we had met at that point. I can't remember, but we spoke for a couple of weeks before we decided to meet and have coffee. And the crazy thing is, he's a welder, so blue collar, check. He had custody of his kids. He had 3 living at home, custody of 5, check. Or they were with him. Let's just put it that way. They were with him full time. He owns a home. He's on 2 acres of land, check. And like I said, between the two towns that I had desired that I would find somebody, Check. He's a hunter. He likes to hunt. Check. And he's, 5'11", big burly guy, facial hair, goatee, gorgeous. Check. And he's kind and beautiful. And we met for coffee, and I had just decided that I was just going to be real, be myself. At the time, I owned a cleaning business, and I was on my way to go and do some cleaning in the city. And we just met at our local restaurant for coffee. And so I let him see me, the real me. I don't even know if I was wearing makeup. I had my hair up in a ponytail. And that was the very first time that we connected, and it was truly magical. We had a great conversation. Our energies were just meant for each other. We're both cancers. We were both born in the same year. I'm actually 2 weeks older than he is. So we joke gets to call me his cougar for 2 weeks. And, all along, those were the exact qualities that he possessed. And he was that person. I just didn't have a face and a name yet. So the universe conspired and was like, yeah, there he is. He's meant for you. So once I've manifested my husband, I realized that, these same principles could deepen our relationship over time. And manifestation does not stop after you find your partner. It's an ongoing process of nurturing and growing your love. I believe I've manifested everything in my life. I've manifested this podcast. I manifested, the 12 foundations that I spoke of in my last podcast that I've created, because I am passionate and wanting to have this deep connection with my husband in our marriage, that I'm always working towards and creating actions that I take to steer me in the direction of continuing to nurture this marriage and this love, if that makes sense. It's an ongoing process. It honestly is. It's just an ongoing process to nurture your love and your marriage. And I'm very passionate about it. And that's why I'm here. So, how can you start to manifest a deeper love in your marriage? Well, I wouldn't be a marriage mentor if I didn't at least have some sort of tips for you guys, right? So here's some steps. Maybe if you can, write them down. If not, just listen along. Step 1, get really clear on what it is that you want. So just like I got clear on the qualities I wanted in a partner, you need to get clear on what a deeper love looks like for you. Is it more intimacy? Is it better communication? Visualize how that deeper love would feel and look in your everyday life, in your day-to-day life. What do you want it to feel like? What do you envision? Get really clear on what it is. Then you have step 2, align your thoughts and your beliefs. So the law of attraction teaches that what we think about expands. What you focus your energy on is what will happen. You're bringing that energy to it. So if you're focused on what's wrong in your marriage, that's what you'll get more of. Instead, start focusing on the love, the connection, and the moments of joy that you already share. Affirm daily that you're worthy of deep love and that your marriage is growing stronger. You put that into play. You believe it now. You show gratitude for what you do have now. And step 3, yes, we have to take action. You do have to put some work into it. As much as it would be great to just imagine it and it just falls from the universe and it just happens, but you do have to actually put some effort into it. So, manifestation, it's not just about thinking, it's also about acting in alignment with what you want. You want a deeper connection? Okay, so schedule some time for real conversations and intimacy. You want more appreciation? Practice gratitude for your partner every day. As you shift your actions, you'll notice your energy aligning with the love that you're trying to manifest. It's crazy. It's mind blowing. Got to do it. You got to try it. It works. So, one of the most powerful tools in manifestation is intuition. You know, guys, I always have a way to come back somehow, some way to talk about intuition. And when we trust our inner knowing, we are guided to make decisions that support our desires. And in my marriage, intuition has been key to navigating challenges and keeping our love strong. Looking back, I can see how trusting my intuition was a major factor in manifesting my husband. It wasn't about forcing things to happen. It was about listening to my inner voice, recognizing when something felt aligned, and taking inspired action. In your marriage, your intuition can guide you toward moments of deeper connection, and it can help you recognize when a shift in energy is needed. Trust those nudges, whether it's to initiate a heart-to-heart or to plan a spontaneous date night. When you're tuned into your intuition, you're better equipped to manifest the love that you desire. Manifesting love, whether it's attracting a partner or deepening the connection in your marriage, it's a soulful journey. And it's about aligning your energy, trusting the process, and believing that you are worthy of the love that you desire. Over a decade ago, I manifested the man I now call my husband, and today I continue to manifest deeper love in our relationship every day. And along with implementing the 12 foundations that I created, and like I said, if you haven't had a chance to listen or understand what the 12 foundations are, I go over these in my show. And please go listen to my last episode. I go through my Worthy of Love program, the 12 foundations in more detail. So please go take a listen, and you can do the same. Okay, so here's your challenge for the week. Take a moment to reflect on what kind of love you want to manifest in your marriage. Write it down, visualize it, and trust that it's already on its way to you. Feel it and attach emotion to it. That is the most important. Smell, taste, feel. Imagine it's yours already and attach that emotion and feeling to it. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. So please feel free to share them on Instagram, DM me, or email me. The links are in the show notes. Okay, beautiful souls, thank you again for joining me today. I hope this made sense, and let me know your thoughts. Please, I love it. I love hearing from you guys. Remember, you are worthy of love, and your marriage can always, always grow deeper. So until next time, bye for now.